Right now at noon, the cause of a home explosion in Dane County is under investigation. What reminders an area fire chief is giving to homeowners this winter. And the impeachment inquiry of President Trump is continuing as House Democrats announced public hearings set for next week.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Tonight, Marcane officials are investigating what caused an explosion at a home in the town of Westport. The Middleton Fire Department received a call around 8:30 for a report of a structure fire at 4723 Sumac Road. Officials were told there was some type of explosion and there were windows blown out of the house. Firefighters say that when they arrived, there were high levels of carbon monoxide in the area, but no one was injured. They are reminding residents to have their homes inspected ahead of winter.
Making sure that all of your appliances, furnaces, and so on are properly maintained by professionals. Making sure that you have both carbon monoxide and smoke detectors present, batteries are good and operable, and making sure your vents are clean around the house.
Fire officials say there is significant structural damage to the home. Madison Gas and Electric is on scene investigating the cause of the possible explosion. Well, the snowfall slowing down, but there's still a few counties that are under winter weather advisories. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has a look at your first alert forecast.
We're seeing a little bit of a break right now, but not ruling out the chance to see a few more flurry spots develop later this afternoon and this evening. Our high-resolution Doppler that gives us a really good look at what's actually falling to the ground, and it does seem like most of Dane County is in a dry spot. That being said, there is still a winter weather advisory in effect until 9 o'clock this evening because so many spots on the roads still quite slick. We've also left our alert day in the forecast. Heaviest amount of accumulation so far certainly have been north of Madison, but your evening commutes likely still going to be impacted again as the roads are still a little slick in spots. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the next few days. Here's your hint, Mark. It's going to be a little cold outside heading into Thursday and Friday, so you'll definitely want to keep the snow boots on hand because the snow is just not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Winter is here, I guess.
It's settled in. It's I don't know what happened to fall.
For the long haul.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. We'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, Dana. The Madison Police Department has asked the public for help in finding a missing adult. Officers say John P. Thompson was last seen October 30th at 11 a.m. at 1500 Troy Drive. Thompson has been described as a white man who's 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighs 146 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on Thompson's whereabouts is asked to call the Madison Police Department. An outside agency is investigating an officer-involved shooting in Monroe County. It happened around 9 last night at a bar called the Cotter Pin in the town of Leon. That's east of La Crosse near Sparta. Deputies say the public is not in any danger but could not provide any details on what happened. It's unclear if anybody was hurt. Highway 27 was closed as a result of the shooting. Milwaukee's district attorney says he is considering hate crime charges against a 61-year-old white man suspected of splashing battery acid on a Hispanic man's face. John Chisholm said that his office anticipates filing charges later in the day against Clifton Blackwell, the suspect in Friday night's acid attack. The victim, Mahoud Villas, said his attacker approached him near a restaurant and accused him of being in the country illegally before asking why he was invading the U.S. Chisholm says his office is looking to determine whether the attack was motivated in whole or in part based on the victim's race. Mexican authorities are working to find the killers responsible for a massacre that left 9 American women and children dead. The victims were in 3 separate vehicles at the time of the attacks happened, about 10 miles apart. Johnny Fernandez has the latest from New York.
A chilling scene in northern Mexico where family members of the 9 Americans ambushed here viewed the carnage. Mexican authorities say that they have arrested a heavily armed person who may be connected to the attack. The suspect was found holding 2 bound captives in a car, but the person's involvement in the massacre of 3 women and 6 children is unclear. Some survivors were hospitalized with gunshot wounds. A source tells CBS News that a drug cartel may have targeted the victims.
3 vehicles with women and children in broad daylight. There was no mistaken identity.
8 children survived the attacks, including 13-year-old Devin Langford, who was able to hide 6 of his injured siblings in the brush before walking 14 miles for help. The victims belonged to a breakaway group once associated with the Mormon Church. They were part of the extended LeBaron family, whose history in Mexico dates back generations. A relative says they lived in La Mora, a small community with a population of less than 1,000 dual U.S.-Mexican citizens. A 2012 documentary focused on the violent history of the Mexican drug cartels toward the LeBarons over the family's apparent wealth and resources.
We've had a few run-ins with them. Don't like to say too much about them.
President Trump has offered U.S. assistance and says this is the time to wage war on the drug cartels and wipe them off the face of the earth. Mexico's president said he appreciates the offer but declined, insisting his nation must act independently. Johnny Fernandez, CBS News.
And investigators found more than 200 shell casings at the scene of the attacks, mostly from assault rifles. House Democrats have announced that they'll hold the first public hearings next week in their impeachment inquiry of President Donald Trump. 3 State Department officials will testify in hearings November 13th and November 15th. House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff is leading the probe. Schiff tweeted that top Ukraine diplomat William Taylor, career department official George Kent, and former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch will testify. All 3 have previously testified behind closed doors. The Democrats are investigating Trump's dealings with Ukraine and his request for politically motivated investigations as the U.S. withheld military aid from the country. Both Democrats and Republicans are claiming victory a day after voters went to the polls for a variety of local and statewide elections. In Kentucky, Democrat Andy Beshear leads incumbent Republican Governor Matt Bevin by 5,000 votes. The race is officially still too close to call. Republicans did win every other statewide race in Kentucky. In Virginia, Democrats took full control of the state government for the first time in nearly 25 years. Democratic Party Chair Tom Perez says the party's message of unity is resonating in the suburbs.
Prince William County embodies the challenges that Donald Trump and his politics of division are confronting in today's world. It is the quintessential suburb.
The president is not done campaigning. He heads to Louisiana tonight ahead of the November 16th runoff election in that state's governor's race. The Wisconsin Assembly plans to attempt the first veto overrides in 11 years, targeting 3 partial budget vetoes made by Governor Tony Evers. The Republican-controlled Assembly plans to vote on the veto overrides tomorrow. Republicans do not have enough votes to pass them without Democratic support. The vetoes killed $15 million in funding to create a crisis center and blocked $5 million a year for doctors who care for people in state health care programs. The third one gave the Evers administration more flexibility in how to spend $500,000 to increase the number of health care providers. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We're moments away from revealing a new side dish that may be the talk of the table this fall. And it's probably not what you'd expect. Stick around to find out what it is. This time of year, it seems that everyone is on the lookout for anything and everything that has a hint of pumpkin or squash in it. So to hop on the bandwagon, we came up with a fall-inspired spin on lasagna that we think you're gonna love. The first thing we do is cook some lasagna noodles according to the package directions and drain them really well. While those cool, we mix together some mashed potatoes, a couple packages of frozen cooked butternut squash that we thawed, a good amount of ricotta cheese, and a bunch of seasonings. Next, we spoon about a third of the filling over a layer of lasagna noodles, just as if we were making a traditional lasagna. We repeat this 2 more times before finishing it off with crispy fried onions. After it's been baked, we let it cool for a bit, and it's ready to serve. It's such a simple concept and tastes so good, you're probably wondering, why didn't I think of this? Just imagine serving this at a church potluck or as the starring new side dish on a holiday buffet. I'm sure it'll be a hit. To get the recipe for our butternut squash lasagna, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fabulous fall way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, a cold and snowy start to your Wednesday. We could see some more flurries later on. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has more in your first alert forecast right after the break. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues and call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. The revolving door of chief executives is on track for a record, and new year, new you resolutions are already sprouting on the job front. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
A spike in CEO departures last month has put 2019 on track for a record year in C-suite shuffles. 172 chief executives left their positions in October, according to outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas. Top brass from Nike, Under Armour, and McDonald's are among the latest high-profile departures. Check your veggies. There's a major recall over listeria concerns. Mann Packing Company has recalled more than 100 food items containing vegetables from labels including Kroger Organic, Del Monte, Signature Farms, and Trader Joe's. The products have a best enjoyed by date ranging from October 11th through November 16th of this year. A retirement savings crisis is looming. According to a new study by Cleveland State University and Florida Atlantic University, nearly half of Americans have nothing saved for their golden years. Part of fixing the crisis could lay in flex work arrangements. Workers with flex time had nearly 25% more money in retirement savings than those who do not. And nearly half of U.S. adults say they will look for a new job in the new year. That's according to a recent Harris poll, which found that working Americans aren't just looking for a new position, but a new career altogether. 4 in 10 adults said their New Year's resolutions included seeking a career change. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thank you, Diane. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 35. The NASDAQ off 40. The S&P 500 down 5.5. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dana is standing by. We're still under an alert day.
We are under an alert day. Right now it's cold outside and a little cloudy. The snow's giving us a break in Madison, but it's going to pick up again later this evening. Just some light flurries expected through the afternoon and early evening before finally completely wrapping on up. So I definitely want to keep the snow boots on hand. Accumulation totals for some areas could hit well over 5 inches, especially north of Madison. We'll get those final amounts again later this evening. For Thursday and Friday, it's going to be unseasonably cold outside. Temperatures for both days well below average. Actually, high temperatures on Friday, likely about half of where we should be. Near record cold possible for next Monday and Tuesday. Temperature-wise in the afternoon will be close to those records, but we're talking more about overnight lows dropping quite a bit. Again, looking at our Doppler track right now, things are pretty quiet, but we do still have some light flurries off to the west that will be building on in as the center of this low pressure is still centered off towards Iowa. So we have a little bit more moisture likely wrapping around behind it before we're completely in the clear. Most of the heavy snowfall has already come through. It's starting to make its way into northern Michigan, but that lighter snow that's going to add for some areas, maybe another 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch of accumulation. Of course, we got to get that through before we have our official totals for the day. Overall temperatures this afternoon will creep up a little bit into the mid-30s. Again, not a lot of snow coming through later on for your evening commute, but something we'll be keeping an eye on, of course, as those roads are still a little slick in spots. Temperatures to start off Thursday will be in the teens. It's going to be very cold early in the day with a breeze from the northwest. High temperatures in the afternoon in the mid to upper 20s, and we should be close to 50 for our afternoon highs. For Friday morning, again, falling to the teens, some areas close to the single digits. for our overnight lows. It should be dropping closer to 30 degrees for our overnight lows. Friday afternoon, we're back in the mid to upper 20s with a little bit of cloud coverage building in late Friday night. But overall, Thursday and Friday, we get to enjoy some sunshine. It'll be a nice change of pace from the cloudy day today. Snow accumulation totals north of Madison still in that 3 to 6 inch range, likely over 6 inches around the Dells, where they had a visibility this morning under a mile. Along the state line, we are seeing lesser amounts, but still 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, significant enough to impact your drive. Overnight tonight will fall into the teens. These flurries will come to an end. We still have the chance to pick up some light snowfall again over the next few hours. We'll stay mostly cloudy for the early portions of the evening, but once we get past midnight, our skies will gradually clear, and that's going to help those temperatures fall. We have to have a clearing sky to fall through the teens like that. To start off Thursday, it's going to be quite cold outside. Still the alert day in the forecast today. Just make sure you give yourself a little extra time on the roads and plenty of space with that car in front of you. High temperatures going to climb another degree or two this afternoon. Thursday and Friday we get the sunshine, but high temps barely into the upper 20s. Quite a bit below average. Saturday, upper 30s with some light snow developing at night. That light snow will stay into Sunday. The good news with that event, it doesn't look like a major accumulating event. However, it is going to drop our temperatures back yet again with that system. So even as we look into next week, our temperatures stay well below average, and we are looking at record-breaking lows for Tuesday and Wednesday morning. The record right at 8 and 7 degrees, and we're looking at 8 and 9 degrees. So
22 for the high.
22 for the high, correct, which is below our average low.
Could be a long winter.
It could be a long winter. We're starting early.
Or maybe we get out of the way.
Maybe we get it all knocked out, and by March we're already talking planning and then getting spring. Yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great. We could just bump it up a bit.
Just take it easy out there. Go slow.
Absolutely.
All right, Dana, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at noon, the holiday season is here. We'll have a look at the holiday forecast for retailers right after this. Well, Halloween is over. Thanksgiving's still a few weeks away, but there's already a holiday forecast, and it's looking very cheerful for retailers. Britt Conway has a closer look in today's Consumer Watch.
More jingle at the cash register. A new report shows this year's holiday sales could grow as much as 4.2% compared to 2018, reaching a possible high of $730 billion. That's according to the National Retail Federation. And this is a critical time for retailers, with November and December sales accounting for 20% of annual sales. So the predicted rise is good news for retailers, who saw a small increase of only 2.1% last year. The NRF blames 2018's tariffs and the uncertainty over a government shutdown. But this is also good news for job seekers. The NRF expects retailers to hire more than 530,000 temporary workers to help with the high demand this holiday season. Experts credit the rise in holiday sales to job growth and higher wages. And it's not just brick and mortar stores seeing soaring sales. The NRF forecast finds online and other non-store sales are expected to increase as much as 14% to nearly $167 billion.
The NFR holiday forecast looks at several indicators, including employment, wages, and consumer confidence. The figure excludes car dealers, gas stations, and restaurants. Over to Dana now. You know Britt, the reporter that did the Consumer Watch.
I do, yes. She was actually one of my bridesmaids in my wedding, and we worked together back in the day in South Carolina. She's still in the South right now, where, of course, it's not snowing and much, much warmer. Up here, though, we're still looking, of course, at those snow chances for the afternoon and evening. Alert day still in the forecast, though right now nothing is falling. With our high-resolution Doppler, we may still see a few light flurries through the rest of the afternoon, so winter weather advisory still in effect for Dane County and stretching into Iowa and Jefferson County. Temperature-wise this afternoon, we'll climb a few more degrees into the mid-30s. Thursday and Friday, sunshine with high temps falling back quite a bit into the upper 20s. So make sure you plan to layer up for the rest of the week.
All right, just take it easy out there. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.